We start with the baby formula crisis and the more complex solutions of how to solve it. Peter Pitts, former Associate Commissioner of the FDA, is with us. Good to see you, sir. I appreciate it. So far, Defense Production Act, supply raw materials and transportation logistics for baby formula. As I understand it, though, neither of those are the reasons we have a shortage.
It's an empty gesture, and I think it's insulting to parents who are struggling these days. The Defense Production Act says that companies that sell to baby formula manufacturers must fulfill their orders, and that's fine. But the major ingredients in baby formula, rice starch, corn syrup, and protein derived from cow's milk, are commodities. There's no shortage. Not a single serving of baby formula has been delayed, even during the crisis, because of a lack of ingredients. It's unfortunate the president had to resort to these empty gestures. Then the president said he was going to send Air Force planes to Europe to bring baby formula back. Well, first of all, we don't even know where the foreign baby formula is going to come from. At the hearings today, Rob Califf, the commissioner of the FDA, said they might even come from China. I think the president is just saying things people told him to say. It's embarrassing. There's no baby formula depot somewhere deep in Europe where these planes can swoop down and pick up product. And when they come back to the U.S., where are they going to go? How's baby formula going to get to parents? Who's going to pay for it?
Well, to that point, though, at some point, either FedEx or UPS could just as easily deliver it if it existed somewhere in Europe. We understand there is at least one plane coming from Zurich, perhaps. Nestle, I think, provided some specialty formula. This is from CNN on the baby formula plan. Senior administration officials could not provide important details about how their new efforts will be implemented. Officials have cautioned that invoking the DPA isn't a magic wand and won't increase supply instantly. You used to work at the FDA as the head of public affairs effectively. Can you blame them for trying to spin and trying to do something?
Yes, spin doesn't put baby formula on the shelves of retail outlets. It's time to tell the American public the truth. Parents need to know what's happening. The FDA and the president needs to be transparent. And talking about flying planes all around the world to bring back baby formula is
in fairness, though, what are they not now, other than saying the Defense Production Act is going to work and it's doing something, which you've laid out and a lot of people have laid out, administration officials, that it's not a magic wand. Other than that, what have they been disingenuous about?
Well, they should have told parents in February that shortages might be forthcoming so they could prepare. They should have talked to retail outlets to prevent hoarding and panic buying. They should have talked to pediatricians to provide so they could get prepared to talk to their patients about what might happen. Truth and transparency is a lesson we learned from COVID-19. When people know what's going to happen, even if it isn't good news, at least they're prepared and they trust the source. Now, the FDA is no longer a trusted source, and that is a dangerous proposition.
That is an excellent point, one we're going to get to later in terms of the CDC as well, this lack of confidence in the institutions that we rely on to protect us the most. You worked in the FDA. You think about what was going on back in February. The war in Ukraine was starting. There was fears of nuclear war by Vladimir Putin. Can we really blame it all the way up to the president to say that this was his failing, that those things that you talked about weren't done?
Well, ultimately, the FDA works for Secretary Becerra at Health and Human Services, who works for the president. Ultimately, the person at the top may not be to blame, but the person at the top needs to take responsibility.
In fairness to where we're at now, if we want to look forward, okay, is there any magic solutions that we have right now to get formula to hungry kids, or is the president effectively doing the best he can?
There is no magic bullet. And Rob Califf said today it's still going to be 4, 5, 6, possibly 8 weeks before the Abbott plan gets fully back to normal. That's when we'll really be over the hump here. So people are going to have to continue to, scrounge and work with each other and, rely on churches and places of worship and community groups to help them out. And, it's going to be tough, but that's the honest truth.
40% of baby formula came offline, of baby formula production came offline back in February when this Abbott plant went down. You can blame the FDA for not warning people and not dealing with parents and everything else. Doesn't Abbott, though, really have some real responsibility here and culpability for running a plant so poorly that it had to be shut down?
Oh, absolutely right. I mean, FDA went to visit this plant and they had to shut it down. It would have been a regulatory malpractice to leave it open. Lack safety standards, lack quality standards. Abbott was destroying product and paperwork the FDA wanted to see. Heads must roll at Abbott. They are responsible, and there are going to be hearings next week where Abbott will be testifying, and I would not want to be in their seat.
Well, I would suspect they'll have a lot of good PR advice, though, and we're going to have you back to talk about the hearings, all right?
I'll be glad to come back.
No, thank you. We appreciate it. Good to see you, Peter. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.